Yeah, how y'all doing out there? It's your boy, and you back like the light bill. Yes. The Ariel Laval broadcast. Um, I know some of you probably just seen me a little earlier, but I had to come back on here to catch up with my normally scheduled broadcast for the week, the Ariel Laval broadcast. And I wanted to talk today about the Black Lives Matter movement. I know y'all probably have heard me mention some things in the past broadcasts in regards to my thoughts on the Black Lives Matter movement. But I just wanted to go a little bit more into detail in my thoughts on the movement. And we may touch on a couple other things. I posted did another broadcast a couple of weeks ago, and I was having some difficulties and technical difficulties, and it refrained me from being able to go forward with the broadcast. And when I mentioned to you about when a white person, white woman or white man uses the N word, does it really mean that they're racist? Let me touch on that a little bit as well. But first, we're going to go to a little quick break, and I'll be right back to kick it off. The Elliot Laval broadcast. Stay tuned. Be right back.
What if you could have the advantage of owning stock equity in the most disruptive financial technology companies before they go public? And at the same time, earn ongoing profit-sharing rewards and income simply by becoming a part of a record-breaking crowdfunding platform. Profits, equity, and income. Welcome to Daisy. Daisy, which stands for Decentralized AI System, is a smart contract crowdfunding model that is truly breaking industry records. And with over 100,000 contributors and over 120 million in contributions in its first 30 days, Daisy is positioned to be the fastest billion-dollar project of its kind. For as little as a 100 USDT contribution, Daisy members have instant access to profits, equity, and income. And it is all done with 100% transparency on the blockchain. The first technology company that the Daisy community is crowdfunding is Endotech, a brilliant financial technology team that has developed the AI backbone for many of the top financial institutions around the world and is now developing the next generation of AI trading technology for today's financial markets, including digital currency. During Daisy's Phase 1 crowdfunding window, every member who contributes $100 or more will receive stock equity in Endotech prior to the company going public. And it doesn't stop with equity. Every member also receives 70% of the profit rewards generated from the ongoing performance of Endotech's AI trading system. Daisy's first crowdfunding phase has a limited placement of 500 million USDT into live trading for the purpose of testing and development, and has already exceeded 60 million in just the first 30 days of being live. And because Daisy is a 100% peer-to-peer model, over 50 million USDT has been rewarded directly to the Daisy members by the smart contract. Daisy has been recognized as the most powerful community and crowdfunding model ever created, where every member can have profits, equity, and income, even if you never refer a single person. If you love the idea of benefiting from emerging financial technology companies, if you want to take advantage of the digital currency revolution, regardless of if the markets are up or down, and if you're open to diversifying your profits, equity, and income, we hope that you will accept our invitation to learn more and watch the next video. It could very well be the smartest 10-minute decision you have ever made.
All right. So yes, we're gonna be talking about this Black Lives Matter movement, and like the description says, and basically what this discussion is gonna be like. To who do Black lives really matter to? That's the big question. Because when I look around, I really don't see black lives mattering, if I said that right, to black people. And to me, that's kind of hypocritical. I said it before. To ask someone else to do something that you ain't doing. It's like, we're always looking at the church, people in the church as hypocrites and whatnot. And I've oftentimes said, if you want to see, if you're looking for a hypocrite, you might find one if you look in the mirror. Because in a lot of cases, people are always trying to get somebody else to do something that they ain't doing themselves. And black people, if not enough black people, probably I'm not going to, outcast everybody, but if there's not enough black people out there treating each other like Black Lives Matter, how in the world can you expect for somebody else to do what you ain't doing? The Bible talks about love thy neighbor as thyself. We've already determined that but that is a lot of times people can't love their neighbor because they don't love themselves. So how can you expect for Caucasian or anybody else that y'all accuse, that people accuse or whatever, to love you if you don't love yourself? How can we expect for another nationality to value black lives if black people don't even value black lives? I mean, we got just as much reverse racism than actual racism. We got more black on black crime than other people killing black people. It just may be more black people murdered by black people than murdered by white people or any other nationality. So it's like the first of all, you have to practice what you preach. You don't sit out there preaching about how much Black Lives Matter, but maybe just if we start practicing and demonstrating that to the rest of the world, then and only then, maybe the rest of the world will start valuing, us, because they see the love. But ain't too much love being demonstrated within the black community. And it's like, I've said it before jokingly, in regards to somebody lending you a hand, helping you out with what you're doing, and then you being ungrateful because if we killing ourselves, black people killing themselves, and then another nationality want to give you a hand, it's like, how you gonna be mad? And you're not trying to help you accomplish a little bit quicker what you already doing, and like I say that jokingly, but it's like it's some truth to it. There's a lot of truth to that. If Black Lives Matter, show it, demonstrate it. I'm not saying it in terms of like I don't feel like Black Lives Matter because I know Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. But what I am saying is that more black people need to demonstrate how much other black people matter before you go out there trying to get somebody else to demonstrate something that you ain't doing. Before you go out there and try to get somebody else to commit to something that you ain't doing. Before you go out there and try to condemn somebody else for not doing something that you ain't doing. Hey, come on, man. That ain't right. I mean, how in the world are you gonna get mad at somebody for doing the same thing that you're doing? And it's like, right now, I work. That's like I work with AAA. I do roadside. I love my job because to me it's like a form of community outreach, literally. And I'm talking about, oh man, blessings on blessings. And God always gives me an opportunity to be used. It's like He's giving me a whole other platform to be able to demonstrate His love, to be able to live a lifestyle of Christianity. And it's awesome. But I gotta admit that when I'm out there doing what I do, I get treated a lot better by other nationalities and white people. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that I have not experienced, you know, no, negativity, from Caucasian, anybody else or whatever. But I've experienced more negativity from my own people, black people, than Caucasian people or any other nationality. Because just like we all know growing up, soon as a person gets something, get a little something, they think they better than everybody else. And they have the audacity to sit there and talk about other people, talk about white people, talk about whatever, and then, God bless you, you get a little something in your pocket or whatever, and you acting worse than what the people you've been talking about all your life. Hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. Let's call it for what it is, because y'all know I ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? You know I ain't lying, especially those y'all that come from the same place that I come from. And like I've said it before, I hate to accept the fact, start calling, people haters and all that stuff, because come on, man, we can't be so quick to be so negative toward one another. And the fact of the matter is people do it because it feels good. It feels so much better to your flesh to call another black person to make your neighbor out to be a hater or whatever, than for you to embrace him. You know what I'm saying? And find out what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? If your brother may be dealing with something, going through some stuff, struggling, just trying to do better, and it ain't nothing wrong with being inspired by what somebody else have to want that yourself. And instead of you judging your brother, condemning your brother, if God has blessed you, why not introduce your brother or sister to how to get blessed themselves? You know what I'm saying? Instead of being so quick to get a little something and y'all know I'm talking about, a lot of black people intentionally go get a little something and go out there and want to try to make somebody else jealous, want to try to turn somebody else into a hater. Go out there and look. You know how much of how low confident you have to be in yourself and low self-esteem you have to be to only find motivation in hate and people that you think hating on you. When you with that crap talking about, my haters is my motivators. That's the only motivation you got is negativity, is hate. That's the devil, man. God ain't got nothing to do with that. God is love. And when we look back over our life growing up in the street, two of them, the enemy always want to steal, rob you of everything of God. Some of the main things that we used to do and say in the street, I ain't got no love for nobody, using the N word. I don't just say, I ain't got no love for it. You know what I'm saying? That would be like some of the main things. Okay, but then you turn around and say you and God got understanding. God, you got a relationship with God. God is love. You just literally confess that you ain't got no God in you. When you say you ain't got no love for nobody, you ain't got no love for nobody. That means you ain't got no God for nobody. You ain't got nothing good in you for nobody. Walk around talking about, trying to be tough. Oh, I ain't got no understanding for nobody. I ain't got no understanding for a nigga. Whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. God say make understanding your nearest you can. But you ain't got none of that. But you really claim and think that you got a relationship with God. Come on, man. Yeah, God know my heart. Yeah, he do. And he know it way over there, far from him. And you speak it into existence. You out of the Bible say, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth shall speak. You know what I'm saying? You allow yourself to be manipulated and pulled away from everything godly, everything good, and then you deceive yourself into believing that you got something going on with God. I'm gonna tell you what you got going on with God. A lot of people, and I'm saying this is so we can correct it and we can get it right and we can do better. And then just maybe the value of Black lives will begin to be displayed, and one day then other people will follow and be influenced to move in that same direction and start valuing us if we one day start valuing ourselves, each other. You know, hallelujah, Jesus. And it's like this, you know, the enemy, we have manipulated ourselves into believing that, well, I ain't gonna say we, I ain't a part of that no more. I done been there though, so I can talk about it. The enemy wants to rob you of everything of God just to demonstrate what's going on, what's going on with a lot of people. You know how you view, a lot of women can more relate to this, somebody's relationship status. You know, you've seen a woman, I've seen her, I know I've seen women, you know, have a relationship status on social media. It's complicated. And I think I've said this live before, you know, how many of you out there that God just may be have a status of complicated between you and him? Why do I say that? Because see, God is married to us. Like the Bible says, he's married to the backslider, those who may drift away. And he's committed. He chases those he loves, and he loves all of us. And in the most cases, God is the only one that's involved in the relationship. You see a woman, you know, she in love with a man, and not in these days it can be vice versa too. But the only difference is you ain't gonna get no man to go on social media and set his relationship status as complicated. I don't know, maybe y'all have seen something I haven't. But when that woman, she's so in love with that man, and the man is just not spending time with her, not showing her any attention, and he's not responding, you know, acting like he in a relationship. And you hear a woman tell a man that you don't act like you married, you don't act like you love me, you don't act like you care about me, you don't act like you have an old lady. You know, and in a lot of cases, that's you know, the way you walk and demonstrate, you know, it will give off the appearance as if you're not in a relationship, and that's what's going on. In order for you to be in a relationship, have a relationship with God, you have to be, your lifestyle will demonstrate that you're in a relationship, and that's where righteousness is. Righteousness is right standing with God. You know, you have to have a relationship. If you have a relationship with God, a true relationship with God, then you are the righteousness of God. I mean, you're the bride of Christ. You're a bride of Christ. The Bible says that we are the brides of Christ. You know, so when you become the righteousness of God, that means you are in close relationship with him. You are married. You know, the relationship is equal. You know, it's not only him in a relationship by himself anymore. The relationship is no longer complicated, you know, pretty much one-sided. It's a right. This is why you hear the men and women of God talk about a right relationship with God. Just as if you got a man and a woman, you know, that's married, you know, but the marriage is dysfunction because only one party is really putting in the work and really dedicated and committed to the marriage, and then you got the other party, you know, that's living the lifestyle as if he or she is not in a relationship. You know, that relationship is complicated. You may see where sometimes, like I said, the majority of the time you might see a woman, you know, that may say her status as complicated. How many of you out there that God, the status between you and God has it set as complicated? We need to really evaluate that and look into that. You know, so what we're going to do now, I really hope that I was able to help somebody. You know, I got so much more to talk about on that topic, you know, but I want to try to touch on a few things before I go off today. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to step over to another commercial break really quick, and then we're going to come back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch a little bit on that topic that I was being supposed to talk about in regards to when a white man or woman uses the N-word, or does that really mean that they're racist? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What if you could have the advantage of owning stock equity in the most disruptive financial technology companies before they go public, and at the same time earn ongoing profit-sharing rewards and income? simply by becoming a part of a record-breaking crowdfunding platform. Profits, equity, and income. Welcome to DAISY. DAISY, which stands for Decentralized AI System, is a smart contract crowdfunding model that is truly breaking industry records. And with over 100,000 contributors and over 120 million in contributions in its first 30 days, DAISY is positioned to be the fastest billion-dollar project of its kind. For as little as a 100 USDT contribution, DAISY members have instant access to profits, equity, and income. And it is all done with 100% transparency on the blockchain. The first technology company that the DAISY community is crowdfunding is Endotech, a brilliant financial technology team that has developed the AI backbone for many of the top financial institutions around the world, and is now developing the next generation of AI trading technology for today's financial markets, including digital currency. During DAISY's Phase 1 crowdfunding window, every member who contributes $100 or more will receive stock equity in Endotech prior to the company going public. And it doesn't stop with equity. Every member also receives 70% of the profit rewards generated from the ongoing performance of Endotech's AI trading system. DAISY's first crowdfunding phase has a limited placement of 500 million USDT into live trading for the purpose of testing and development, and has already exceeded 60 million in just the first 30 days of being live. And because DAISY is a 100% peer-to-peer model, over 50 million USDT has been rewarded directly to the DAISY members by the smart contract. DAISY has been recognized as the most powerful community and crowdfunding model ever created, where every member can have profits, equity, and income, even if you never refer a single person. If you love the idea of benefiting from emerging financial technology companies, if you want to take advantage of the digital currency revolution, regardless of if the markets are up or down, and if you're open to diversifying your profits, equity, and income, we hope that you will accept our invitation to learn more and watch the next video. It could very well be the smartest 10-minute decision you have ever made.
All right, yes, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit. In the future, I got some events that I'm working on putting together. Some people that's gonna be coming down, teaching on investment and education and stuff, and investment and controlling your own investments, and building future wealth for your family. But let's just dive right into it in regards to this issue, because we have to nip this, y'all. This all of the hate and everything going on around the world, racism, reverse racism, killings and what going on. And until we get understanding, like the Bible talks about, where we're going to keep having these issues, but we first have to do what the word talks to us about doing, that's making understanding. Because here's the thing, if there was more understanding between individuals, there would be less altercations and stuff, should I say. That's like if you walk outside before you're in the grocery store and you come to the line, a lot of times, the person, the cashier, whatever, may respond a certain way, and it may not have anything to do with you, but you respond back as if it does, because we're not trying to be understanding, we're not thinking about it. And the Bible says, blessed is the peacemaker, but you will be so just as quick to try to create peace instead of add on to the situation and the self-division and negativity, and allow it to escalate into an altercation. Things would be different in the land, because sometimes people can be going through some stuff, you never know, and it just has nothing to do with you, and it just comes out, in a certain manner. And when I look at a white person using the N word, and they might not, and I'm not saying it's not in all cases, but the only thing that I'm trying to say, people, is to try to create more peace and understanding by accepting each other as human beings equally, equal human beings, because if every time a white person uses the N-word, if that confirms that person to be racist, then how many black racist people do we have in the world? Because there's just as many black people that uses the C word in the same like manner. But how often do you see where you hear a black person use the C word and it's taken in the same manner to the degree that it is when a white person uses the N word? Have you ever thought about that? Like I said before, I've seen this online video where the white man uses the N word and the black man knocks him out, and then you have another black man with the camera and he says, "Know that word to get you knocked out every time." Just put it in a different manner, in the opposite way, wherein it was a black man using the C word, white man knocks the black man out, white man got the camera, says while he's taping, "Oh yeah, that C word to get you knocked out every time." You'll see Al Sharpton and them out there, Jesse and them, the other guy and them. You see all these people and them out there protesting and whatever. But guess what? This video went viral, and nobody said nothing about it. And we talk about equality. I'm gonna tell you something. What we don't even think about, we don't even pay attention. Black people got so much liberty these days to, it's not even but we don't even see it. We don't even see it. We don't even see how so many people justify, or the whole world, almost the whole world justify for a black person's action. But then, yes, you obviously got others out there that hate it, that don't like it, because it's really not equality. Just the same like manner that when we look at certain things that we really see where there's no equality. But the thing about people that I find out is they're only gonna look at things in the manner that benefits them. They ain't gonna never look at the other side. And one of the things, like I said, my wife always say that there's, two sides to every story, and then somewhere in the middle is the truth. Nobody wanna look in between. I promise you. Nobody wanna look in between. Nobody wanna look at what they're doing to get over on others. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to be honest. If that was true, every time a white person uses the N-word, it's like, I said it before, I've seen mothers call their own kids, their own daughters outside of their name. Do that really truly think that mother hates her daughter? But she's upset at that point, and things come out the wrong way. Why can't understand be said in it, wherein just in the same like manner, you see a black person, get mad at a white person and call them cracker. You know what I'm saying? Say use the C word. It happens all the time. But nobody declares that black person as racist when he uses the C word. But and then that black person will tell you all day, that he's not racist. And in most cases, it's true. It's true. But what I'm saying that because it happens in the same like manner. Sometimes where you may get a white person that may be upset at a black person, and the N-word comes out, but that white person will tell you that he's not racist. And in a lot of cases, it's totally true. I know this for a fact. But the world ain't gonna give him no understanding, especially if it comes out publicly. He dead, that's dead bird. You know what I'm saying? Hanging. You know what I'm saying? Lock him away, take his whole life away. You know what I'm saying? But then on the same like that ain't happened to a black person, you got the whole world in the streets. If that ain't liberty, come on, man. If that ain't like power, that means something. I need help with that thing. Somebody, I hope to God that this conversation is not taken in the wrong way, and that I really do get some feedback and comments and whatnot. Because I want to talk about this, and I want to hear thoughts on this, and I want to find a way that we can take this understanding and truth and maybe use it to um, create understanding and decrease altercations, because this is how we're going to come to peace. You can't create peace with retaliation. That ain't going to never work. If we really want to see change in the world and we want to see equality, it's going to come through understanding. It's not going to come through retaliation. What it is going to come to a common ground. It's going to come through a common ground where we really reach out to each other and find understanding somewhere, find the truth, accept the truth of the matters, accept the truth of the matter, and the truth of the matter is this. Sometimes things come out the wrong way. People say things that they don't always mean. It's not always meant the way that it comes out. And we have to stop really taking everything that goes on to heart, and start blessing each other with understanding. We got to start loving ourselves and loving each other, in regards to the Black Lives Matter, people, we got to start demonstrating it before we can ever put an expectation on it for anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that to say that I think that white people don't value Black lives, because I know I've experienced more of my life being valued by Caucasian and other nationalities. Almost didn't, Black people, period. Am I saying that to say that I don't get no love or understanding in the Black community, in my own community? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is I've experienced way more negativity thrown toward me from Black people than white people. And again, that's not to say that racism is not real and that there are no racist white people out there, just like there are some racist Black people out there too. Chris Rock said that one of the most racist people in the world is an old Black man. And that's because of what he experienced, in his time. But also, you have a lot of reverse racism as well, in older black men, as well as younger Black men, and man, it's crazy, and in a lot of the cases, the way women treat each other, I'm gonna just say it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's truly disgusting the way that I've seen women treat each other. And we're going to talk about that. I'm not even going to get into that right now because that's a whole long drug out conversation, but maybe we'll get a chance to talk about that one day without anyone getting offended, but with everyone just allowing these discussions to motivate and move to change in our community through understanding, and knowledge. This is why the Bible talks about how God's people perish because of lack of knowledge. And we need some understanding people. And this is gonna bring love. This is gonna bring love. I think this is the channel through that we can take to inherit love in our communities. And when I say in our communities, I'm not just talking about the Black community. I'm talking about the world's community, and that's what God loves. But until next time, people, y'all know I always like to say at the end of my discussions and broadcasts, be someone's blessing, and we're gonna be right here next week, same day, hopefully the same time, God willing. I'm going to be coming back and forth on here as much as possible. Comment on the video, send me an inbox, let me know what you think about the discussion that you would like to be featured on the next Area About broadcast. And you can find out, I can let you know how we can make that happen. I can bring you on right from your own home. No matter where you're at in the world, we can make it happen via technology. God is awesome. He's blessed us with great tools for us to be able to reach one another right from the presence of our own home. God bless y'all. See you next time.
What if you could have the advantage of owning stock equity in the most disruptive financial technology companies before they go public, and at the same time earn ongoing profit-sharing rewards and income simply by becoming a part of a record-breaking crowdfunding platform? Profits, equity, and income. Welcome to DAISY. DAISY, which stands for Decentralized AI System, is a smart contract crowdfunding model that is truly breaking industry records. And with over 100,000 contributors and over 120 million in contributions in its first 30 days, DAISY is positioned to be the fastest billion-dollar project of its kind. For as little as a 100 USDT contribution, DAISY members have instant access to profits, equity, and income. And it is all done with 100% transparency on the blockchain. The first technology company that the DAISY community is crowdfunding is Endotech, a brilliant financial technology team that has developed the AI backbone for many of the top financial institutions around the world, and is now developing the next generation of AI trading technology for today's financial markets, including digital currency. During DAISY's Phase 1 crowdfunding window, every member who contributes $100 or more will receive stock equity in Endotech prior to the company going public. And it doesn't stop with equity. Every member also receives 70% of the profit rewards generated from the ongoing performance of Endotech's AI trading system. DAISY's first crowdfunding phase has a limited placement of 500 million USDT into live trading for the purpose of testing and development, and has already exceeded 60 million in just the first 30 days of being live. And because DAISY is a 100% peer-to-peer model, over 50 million USDT has been rewarded directly to the DAISY members by the smart contract. DAISY has been recognized as the most powerful community and crowdfunding model ever created, where every member can have profits, equity, and income, even if you never refer a single person. If you love the idea of benefiting from emerging financial technology companies, if you want to take advantage of the digital currency revolution, regardless of if the markets are up or down, and if you're open to diversifying your profits, equity, and income, we hope that you will accept our invitation to learn more and watch the next video. It could very well be the smartest 10-minute decision you have ever made.